Welcome home, neighbors.
Welcome home, neighbors.
Hello, neighbors.
We're listening from
Arizona,
Florida,
Maryland, New York,
New Jersey,
Indianapolis,
California,
Utah,
Michigan,
Iowa, Massachusetts,
Georgia,
Canada,
Our home resort is
Animal Kingdom,
Polynesia,
Bay Lake Tower,
Old Key West,
Riviera,
Boardwalk,
Alani Resort,
Boulder Ridge, Copper Creek,
Grand Floridian,
Saratoga Springs,
Beach Club,
and Wilderness Lodge.
and you're listening to
You're listening to My
DVC Points.
Well, welcome home, everybody, to My DVC Points Community Hall live here on June 7th, 2020. I would like to welcome to the show today our producer of the show, Gina. Let me add you in. So, hey, Gina. Well, I guess I added everybody in. So,
We're all here. Hi.
Hello.
So hey, well, let me just do some intros. Gina, you're a producer of the show. You produce like all of our live shows from here and Mouse Quiz and We're Not Worthy. So thank you for doing all the behind the scenes work, getting things up and rolling.
Yay. Yeah,
And so,
my pleasure.
Yep, first time visitor today, Jonathan. How are you today, Jonathan?
I'm great. How are you, Chad?
I am doing great. Let me come back in and take that logo off you. So, Jonathan, where's your home resorts and how long have you been a member?
Okay, so we've been a member since 2012. We own at Saratoga Springs, Animal Kingdom, and Alani.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to heading over to Alani here soon. And
Same here.
Yeah. And welcome back to the show, Shannon. You're a regular co-host.
Yes. Baby, with the introduction of Baby Yoda. I got him this week. So.
Oh, a new Baby Yoda.
Yeah, he was on back order since December. So
You got all blurry between pre-show and this. I'm not sure what happened there.
okay, we'll see.
But so we'll have to see if we can figure that out or if that doesn't come back.
Okay.
And then welcome back to the show, SSR Rocks. Like, I mean, I guess you are known as Mary Ann, our Saratoga Springs super fan. So I guess we'll kind of let you roll with that today. But
Thanks, Chad.
Yeah. And then welcome back to, and this is your first time on the live, isn't it, Roxanne?
On the live, yeah. First time.
Yeah, I know you did like a three-peat there on the podcast. So,
Yep. Only guest, I think, to ever do that, Chad.
I think so.
Three in a row.
3 in a row. Absolutely. And I'll have to look back and no, Terry didn't even do that. Terry recorded 3 in a row way back in like episode 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that. But we didn't come back in and pull that off. I think I split him up some. So, well, welcome to the show. Where's your home resorts and how long have you been a member?
So we rented for a long time, but we only bought in December of 2018, Copper Creek Beach Club, and now Old Key West Extended as of last week.
Oh, now I'm jealous about that
Woohoo.
one. I'm jealous about that one.
Yeah.
So the points are in your deal, okay? And
Yeah.
so let's just ask this one question. Let me try this camera view as well, see if this is any better. Yeah, I kind of that is better, and it's somewhat stabilized your photo there, Shannon. You got a lot smoother for some odd reason.
Yeah, and I need the smoothing.
Yeah, no,
Turning 44 next month. I need the smoothing.
you got that covered, girl. So you got that down. I'm the one who's just rocking the wrinkles and with no shit.
That young spring chicken sitting over there next to me.
So anyways, when's your guys' countdown? And let's ask the crowd here as well. You know, when's your countdown? When are you guys going home? For me, it says 59 days, but I got to be honest with you, that's likely to cancel because I got a DCL trip in the middle of that, and we're just not feeling the comfort getting on a Petri dish. So it's going to kill me because this would have finished out all of my DVC tours. We had Hilton Head booked for 3 days, a Value at Jumbo booked, okay? Which how hard that is to get a Value at Jumbo and Hilton Head.
That's so hard to let
That
go.
hurts.
That's so hard to let go.
4 nights on DCL and then 3 nights over at Vero in summer. And I had all of that like perfectly orchestrated and lined up. And it's just, it's probably not going to happen.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. So anyways, that's my going home 59 days. Gina, what about yourself?
We are going home on July 10th, so it's like 34 days from now. We'll be there right for the opening of Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom.
Awesome. Okay. Jonathan, when are you going home?
We're at 97 days, so mid-September. We're heading home to SSR, and hopefully it'll still happen, but we're hoping to get the Hollywood Studios Moonlight Magic.
Hopefully.
If it happens.
Right. That's the big if.
In September?
Yes.
We're booked for October for that, but I'm not hopeful.
I'm not either, but...
Okay. Well, Roxanne, when are you heading home?
Oh, sad. Just like you, Chad. I was supposed to be there August 10th, and I was really excited. We had a 1-bedroom at Riviera, and we had a 1-bedroom at Bay Lake split stay. So the hubby doesn't want to fly. So now we're looking at the G3, the Geekin Grand Gathering, February of 2021. That's what I'm shooting for, and don't know where I'm staying. I haven't booked anything yet, but I think I'm gonna do it.
Fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Marianne, what's your countdown days?
42.
Okay. 42.
42, split staying, SSR standard, SSR preferred.
We talked last week. You were going to switch to Old Key West for part of that.
No way.
I tried.
Yeah, we'll stay. Hopefully we'll get this time. Hopefully we'll get the new refurbed room, but my luck is usually the non-refurbed room. So
do you use the room request from the service from Touring Plans?
I have not done that. So I requested it on the Disney site this time for Congress Park.
Okay.
And we'll just see what happens.
Okay.
You know, if we end up in the Springs, then Katie's closer to the community hall, which I'm hoping there'll be community hall, at least ceramics painting, Mommy.
There's so much
ceramics.
There's so much availability. I think you're going to be, I think this is your time.
I'm hoping.
Got it. Shannon, when's your going home date?
So my days were 49. So last week it was 56. Now it's 40. It was 49. And I think Friday we decided to be there for the reopening of DVC, and our countdown is now 15 days. We will be at the Riviera for the first time on June 22nd.
Nice.
Yeah, so we will be the guinea pigs. Yeah, and then my husband saw all the coverage of Universal Studios, so decided, he's like, I really want to take my son, Ryder, to Universal Studios. He's really into Transformers. So yeah. we added on a day. So 14 days we will be at Cabana Bay for a night, go to Universal Studios, and then head over to Riviera. And don't know what to expect. I mean, the pool hopefully will be open, but we're not. I think it's really just, and there's a lot of walk around, and I think we just want to get it away. It's been a long 2 weeks for us, so we just want to get away.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
That'll be great.
Let me go to some of the crowd comments here, and I'm just going to try to buzz through them. If I don't get to everybody's comments, just please keep in mind our show is growing in popularity so much that we can't possibly put everybody's comments on, but that doesn't mean we're not reading them, and we won't come back after the show and pick up any that we missed. So Melissa says, hi. Christine's hi from Massachusetts. Aaron is Team SSR. He's already started. Oh, good Lord. So we haven't even started that yet. Shots fired, man. Shots fired. So Mary says hi. Vicky says hi. Christine says DVC owner staying at Kidani in August. And then Evelyn's here. Shannon's here. And Melissa's got a rebook for August now. Lauren says hi. Just scrolling down here so I can keep up, and
we have a full house today.
Yeah, we do. Melissa says, hey, can we have snacks tonight? I hear the gnome cakes are
good one.
That is a throwback to the zebra gnomes from the mouse quiz. That was a distractor question that I had messed up and accidentally made it the right answer. So I don't think I'm going to leave down zebra gnomes for a while.
You guys come play trivia on Wednesdays and Fridays. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's a rocking good time over there. And so Teresa's saying 40 days.
So 40 days, that means she's right around the time that the parks are reopening, right?
Yeah.
She's going to be there right when I'm there. Teresa and I will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And
57?
then, yeah, Mary says 108. 20 days for Aaron staying at the Riviera. So
I'm just going to miss you. I'm just going to
Nice.
miss you, Aaron.
Yeah. and
I'll
he's
keep it warm for you.
He's local, so it's a short commute for him. So Mark says hi from Buffalo. Christine says 77 days. And then Mike he's in the same boat with me. He's got that Jumbo thing lined up, which we don't know what they're going to do with, but we'll cover that at the end of the show. And Holly says 188 days. Holly, that's a beautiful number because I think that's nice and safe. I think the wind should be blown over and we should have our stuff together by then.
And the NBA season will be over.
Yes. And then Scott says 82 days, according to the My DVC Points app, until they're living in the tree houses.
Nice.
And if you haven't downloaded the app, go ahead and do that. That has got some killer countdown features on there, point management, financial stuff. Thanks for the shout out to the app. I forgot to do that. So, yes. And it
Your
is
listeners
available
keeping you in check.
Yes. And it's available on the App Store and Google Play. So there we go. Right. And Jody's saying that she has 97. And Sean's saying 40 days till Boardwalk. 98 till Copper Creek, and you hope you can buy tickets. We're all crossing our fingers on Moonlight, but we don't know what's going to happen there. I don't think it's going to happen, but
I don't think I'd bank on that Moonlight Magic, gang. I really just don't think I would.
No. But Jody's saying that she's got a girls trip coming and they still want to go, masks or no masks. So I need to get one of you ladies to co-host a girls night podcast. Okay.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, to come back in and record a girls' night podcast DVC stay.
We've done some girls' night trips at our house, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of get excluded from that club, but that's why I asked when you guys do it. But Jen's saying 120 at Disney World and 325 at Disneyland.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's like right on the 11-month mark. So, and then Christine saying I love touring plans and... So here Aaron is. Not only is he shots firing, but he's also calling me out. Okay. Good Lord. Can a guy get a break tonight? Okay.
No.
Nope.
Yep. And then Amy is saying 48 and 80 days. All right. Now that's a true DVC member. Okay.
So she's around the same time I am for our deluxe day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then our buddy Andy Berry from DVC Resale Market is tuning in, and he says hi all. We were supposed to be on a Grease ABD that left this last Friday.
Oh, that hurts.
But they're making up for it.
Going to Arizona.
Okay.
It's somewhere.
Arizona's a fun trip. Grand Canyon, all that.
Yep.
All that. Yeah, I could get with that.
That's not Greece.
Road trip.
My
Andy,
brother,
I'm with you.
my
That's
brother
not
and his
Greece.
wife eloped in Sedona. So
Oh, beautiful.
yeah.
Pretty
It's
there.
beautiful.
Yep.
Enjoy,
yep.
Andy.
So,
Enjoy your vacation.
and then Tina was supposed to be at Grand Floridian today. Yeah. And then Heather's got hi from LA. She's going to be there in October. And Melissa, more shots fired. SSR is where the cool cats hang. So, yeah. And then Joe backs me up here with OKW rules, right?
Oh, no.
So, okay. And then Heather says, hope more restaurants will be open in October. I think so.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to do a slow roll and come back in.
Yeah.
And then end of October, Split Club, Jumbo Poly, Jumbo Savannah. Ooh. That's kind of nice.
October,
right?
we don't know. Yeah.
October's
End of October. End of October.
Yeah, you might be okay.
You
You might
might
be
be
okay.
okay.
You might be okay. And then
Yeah.
Amy says that she scored a club level Animal Kingdom resize a week ago for late August. I have a feeling it won't happen.
But maybe something even better will happen.
I would
Because-
ask for a lot.
I think that
Yeah.
if they're going to kick you out of there,
Right.
They owe you.
they
Yeah.
owe you.
They owe you
Yep.
big.
So,
Not that, we play that game, but
Yeah, but they.
oh,
they
we
do.
play that game.
They
Trust
do.
us.
yeah,
They do.
should be.
Absolutely.
Oh, Christine says, I am ready for tickets. Yes, 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 yes. And then Labor Day weekend for us at Kidani and Riviera Christmas, that kind of fun stuff.
And we're going to talk about all the news this week at the end. So stay tuned.
Yeah, we will tack that in. I wanted a really, well, we set this series up this summer to come back in and just start doing this resort versus deal because we're trying to build a resort wiki. And so we wanted quotes from DVC members. So please comment below so that we can not only show them on today's show, but we can also have Rob Madiri come back in, who's building a resort wiki to get some really good quotes on the resorts and their features and all of that kind of fun stuff. So it's a little bit of a dual purpose show. Yes, we want to help people who are trying to figure out where should they stay. And let's face it, if you're booking 4 months or less, chances are your choices are Old Key West or Saratoga. Okay. So you need to kind of figure out which team you're batting for because sooner or later you'll have to do that. And we all get last minute trips that pop up. And so there's a good chance you'll be staying at one of these two resorts. So that being said and done, Gina, what's our first area of topic here?
I will pull it up and you can see our first area of topic is room size.
Oh, this one's a no-brainer.
This is a no-brainer.
Yeah, this one's just like a no-brainer. Gina's going to be keeping score as well. So if you guys have any comments about Old Key West room size, go ahead and share them now. But I can tell you, I'm over at dvcinfo.com, and unfortunately, I can't share the screen without kicking somebody off. But I can tell you
Kick me off. It's okay. So I can type this.
The big story here. Well, let me come back in, and I can at least put it into the green room, and let's see. Let me come back in and I'll hit share screen. Maybe I can just go to a dedicated share screen. There we go. So coming in at this, if you come over to DVC Info, they have a really, really, really great website here. Okay. And what they'll do is come back in and they'll break everything out. I think Russ's room inventory is some of the greatest things you're going to find. But he will tell you how many square feet this is. And I think the key here is that 1,005 square feet for the 1 bedroom and 1,395 for the 2 bedroom. And then if 2,375 for the Old Key West 3 bedroom, which everybody knows Old Key West rooms are ginormous. If we switch over to Saratoga Springs and we start looking at the stats down here, I just scroll down a little bit. Okay, let me blow that up. You can start to see you're losing 300 square feet in the 1 bedroom and about 300 in the 2 bedroom as well. And then
I know exactly where you're losing those from, Chad. I can tell you where you're losing those from.
Okay, so tell me about that. Where are we losing that square footage at?
You're not losing them in the bedrooms. You are losing those out of the living room, kitchen, seating area. Because that is, if there is one complaint my family has about the 2 bedroom at Saratoga, it's the tiny kitchen, seating area, living room area compared to what they expect when they walk into the bedrooms, which are both huge with multiple closets and that kind of thing. I think that they, when they built it, they could have, and it's got this huge entryway area with a table and place like that when you walk in the door. I think they lose a lot of space in the 1 and 2 bedroom right there when you walk in the door. I think that if they had built it just a little bit differently, it would have worked better and you would have had more room in that space. Because the 2 bedroom, especially with the room with the 2 beds, not the master, is humongous in there. It is a big room with, closets that you could actually live in, kind of closets. Those are big closets.
Boulder Ridge, Saratoga, they all have similar, and Beach Club, Boardwalk, they all have similar layouts, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It's like the same blueprint.
Yep.
So I have not stayed at Saratoga, but I have stayed at Boulder Ridge. So I am familiar with the 1-bedroom layout, and I agree.
So I think that truly, and that's a big deal though, if you are staying at the resort with a bigger family and hanging out in
Or
your
a toddler.
room. Or a toddler and hanging out in your room.
Yeah.
Because
now,
there isn't as much
set the
space
crib
to
up, though.
No, but they
set the crib up in a closet.
they-
okay,
yeah,
for the
you
toddler.
could. You could in the master bedroom closet. You could put a pack and play.
But they run a lot, and they run
Wow.
everywhere.
Yes.
And-
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So more space is better.
And I'm looking
Not
at it
necessarily.
with teenagers, and that would be the one thing that they've stayed in non-Disney timeshares before, and that was their one thing, was like, this seems small compared to, and I was like, yep,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is.
So here's the other really key point to bring out here is Old Key West in the studios. You get 2 queen-size beds.
That's
2.
That's key.
Right? That is like right here. 2.
Yep.
Okay? And that is just absolutely key if you're going to be putting full-size people into that room.
Yeah.
See, and that
Having a pull-out, pretty nice.
and the funny thing is that I would prefer the new renovated Saratoga studios over an Old Key West studio. So once Saratoga is fully renovated, I am Team Old Key West. I own it Saratoga, but so whatever. But I would prefer the setup at the new renovated Saratoga because we have a toddler. He's 4. So putting him in a queen bed, I would rather have him in a, one of those little Murphy beds.
Now, here's the other interesting part about this studio, and Donna brought it up because she was one of the first people to stay there. And those studios do not have any kind of a table nor an office desk.
Right.
So what they have is this little coffee table with with like a ledge that comes up. And it's really not functional for eating in the room or working out of the room if you have to do a working vacation.
True.
And
I don't work on vacation.
yeah, well, unfortunately, some people do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
And Tom,
that was
and
a
Tom
key
always
point
does.
to do.
It's
My
good to
husband
know.
always does. We're waiting in line by
Yeah.
Tower of Terror, and if a colonel calls, he jumps out of line and goes and takes his call. So
Got
that's
it.
how it rolls. And
So we are booked. I've stayed in an Old Key West studio. We are booked in October. But the one thing I will say with Old Key West Studios is the TV is a lot smaller. It's kind of on a dresser drawer. It's
Yeah.
a small TV. I think it's like 35 inches as opposed to the larger TVs that you're seeing in the studios and the renovated. It's just because of the way the room is laid out.
Right. And then you have nowhere to watch the TV. Well, you sit on the bed to watch the TV.
You have to sit on the bed. You cannot
Yeah.
be on the floor
Yeah,
because
there
it's
is
so
no couch.
high.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's no
and
couch.
It's
It's
so
like a
high.
hotel.
Yeah, it's very much like a hotel feel. But I think for some families, it's actually better. So I'm glad they didn't change the layout or the setup when they did the renovations. I know a lot of people were worried about that. I'm glad they did it because it does give a lot of families that need those 2 beds an option.
Yeah, and that flexibility here.
And
So let's come
I would
back in.
rather have that couch pull out than another queen bed any day, even though I'm
Really?
traveling with my kids,
Mhm.
because we fold it up during the day, so we have a place to sit other than the
Oh,
bed.
Wow. Okay.
And that's just us. I would
Mhm.
prefer their nasty, sweaty, gross stuff doesn't sit on the bed. So
Yeah.
for
So
us,
are
it works
we
better.
doing votes now?
Well, let's come back in and do some comments, and then we'll
Okay.
come back in and we'll do a vote here. So,
Okay.
and so Mary says Old Key West all the way on room size. Kimmy says love Old Key West room size. And this is a great comment from Christine. The 1-bedroom is amazing. I'm a big fan of the nice whirlpool tub, and Old Key West has it. Amazing space, very nice. My little guy asked to go back to Old Key West just so he can sit in that tub and take a bath and watch
Yep.
TV.
I love it.
For him, it's the bomb. So we'll see how long that lasts.
Lasts.
Okay.
Right.
Yep. And then and Mary says that she likes the entry hallway though to put in suitcases and things along those lines. Okay. And Mark says we found the bathroom size poorly designed at SSR, a small shower. Mark,
In the
that-
master, yes, the shower is small in the master. I agree.
Mhm.
And then just so many doors.
All the
Right.
doors.
Oh,
Yeah.
the door.
Door,
Get up,
door,
get up
door,
to
door,
take a leak in the
door.
middle of the night, and it's like you need a GPS navigation to get through all of those angles.
That's
Yep.
right?
true. There's a lot of doors.
That applies to, as
Yeah.
Shannon said, Beach Club, Boardwalk, Old Key West, or not Old Key West, but Saratoga as well. So in Boulder Ridge, there's 4 resorts that are built with that layout. It's not good, right? Not good. Okay. And then Evelyn was saying we also need to think about those who use a wheelchair. So yes,
True.
comment as well with some details about which you prefer for wheelchair accessible. And
I
think
did not have a wheelchair, but I had a scooter the year I broke my ankle right before our trip. So I had an ECV, and we were in a Saratoga studio, and I found that if I parked it in the big getting ready part of the bathroom, it was fine. There was a few, I probably paid my dues to repair the walls when I crashed a few times.
Ding, ding.
But shh, don't
Let's stay in that
tell.
room.
Shh, don't tell.
Now,
But
Evelyn has
it works.
another really key point here for wheelchair and scooter people. There's only like 2, 3, maybe 4 buildings in Old Key West that have an elevator.
3.
oh yeah,
Okay.
I had an
Not
Not
elevator.
necessarily, yeah.
62,
true.
63, and 64 are the only ones that are, and you have to request it like through the resort to get those.
Got it. So
Yeah.
whereas at Saratoga, every single building has elevators.
Right.
Okay.
True.
And at Saratoga, every single building is laid out identical. It's like they built the same building and just twisted it a little or rotated it.
Right.
Whereas over at Old Key West, you have different shaped buildings and different building layouts.
And I think under the numbers, building numbers are in the 30, don't have the extra door. Like you have to go through the master to get to the bathroom.
Ugh.
Whereas if you are 30 and above or 31 and above, there's a door through the laundry room to get to the bathroom. So we had that layout.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you have a building, I think they start at 11 to 29, you have to go through the master to go to the bathroom. But if you are 30 and above, you can go through, there's a door that walks you through the laundry room.
That's an interesting point. I knew there were some discrepancies there, but I didn't know where the dividing line was.
I think that was the big complaint. I think 11, they started with the lower numbers, and then they that was a big complaint. So they changed that in the later buildings that were built.
Got it.
With teenagers, I would think that would suck.
That
Because a lot of times
with kids in general, it would suck.
Yeah, 'cause our son is often on the couch in the living room area in a 2-bedroom because the girls have the 2-bedroom, and he uses our bathroom then. And then if he had to traipse through our room in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I'm afraid he'd be packing a mayonnaise jar.
And the thing with Old
to
Key
avoid
West
it
is all the hospitality house categorized rooms are in that lower number category. So they all don't have that extra door.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good
Good
to
point.
know.
So we always book. I mean, we don't own there, so we can always the hospitality house is usually gone by the time we book anyway. But we wouldn't book that category anyway, just because of that extra door.
Interesting.
Okay. So
Interesting. Yeah.
let me finish up these comments here and then we'll go to vote. We're going to go late tonight. That's just it. So,
Sorry, gang.
Sorry. But I felt like I was prepping for food in the bathroom in the Old Key West studio. Because the little kitchenette deal is right outside the
I could see
bathroom.
that.
That's a really good point.
that.
Yep.
And yes. And well, we just had the conversation. Amy asked, is the only way into the bathroom in the 1-bedroom
50-50.
through the bedroom?
50-50.
Yeah, it depends on the building, so it sounds like. And then Danielle was saying we like SSR, entryway to put the stroller.
I agree with that because it has a nice table too. We line up our sunscreens and our cooling towels and our magic bands as shoes go underneath.
But
It's a nice staging spot to get out the door and not forget anything.
But with 300 square feet extra, you can find a place to put a stroller.
I certainly could have, right? I certainly could have.
Got it. So, okay then. So let's come back in and let's do a vote on room size, okay? So room size. What do you guys think? Are you team Old Key West? Are
We all
you
going
team-
together?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Go together. I'll count.
One. Okay, who's counting?
Only
Me.
time.
Is.
One,
The only time.
2, 3. Show us. Survey says Old Key West.
I
Okay.
guess. I guess.
Oh,
Okay.
Marianne, what can we do? What can we do? So that's room size, okay? Now let's talk about point charts here. So I think if you compare Old Key West to Saratoga Standard, they're going to be fairly comparable, okay? It's when you get into that preferred category over at Saratoga that things start to jump back up. Now, that being said and done, Old Key West has 2 bookable categories as well. It's got near hospitality house and the rest of the resort. And that's just because way back when, so many Old Key West owners were complaining, hey, look, we own here, but we can't get near the hospitality house. So DVC created a booking category called near hospitality house, which is the main lobby area where the restaurant and Olivia's and the feature pool is at, in the main bus stop, so that Old Key West owners could essentially take all those rooms up at the 11-month mark if they wanted to. But that's kind of the difference there. Did I pretty much summarize that up right? Do you guys have any other thoughts about point charts?
No.
No.
Well, I think on the Grand Villa, if I'm reading this right, I was looking for February. It's only 477 points over at Old Key West, and the Grand Villa is between 660 and 756 over at Saratoga.
It's significant.
So that's like 200 to 300 points.
If I
less.
was going to be using a Grand
Huge.
Villa, there's no question that
Way cheaper.
cheap
Big
girl
bang
move
for your buck. Yeah.
booking
Yeah.
at
That
Old
is
West.
that is the other part there, right? Old Key West, because it was the first resort built, they didn't quite balance out the point chart values for those Grand Villas.
Wow.
And after that resort was built, they skyrocketed in points. Okay.
Yeah.
It is nowhere near a comparison. Like most resorts, you have to take 2 bedrooms, and it's still less points than a Grand Villa.
Yeah.
Okay. Over at Old Key West, it's just a slight increase. And so the point charts are really attractive. If you're looking to do a Grand Villa and you don't own it Old Key West, be on it at 7 months, because they will sell out at like that at the 7-month mark, just because the
Yeah.
point charts are so attractive.
That's
right?
that's a total bargain.
It
So-
really is, considering that I wouldn't do probably a 3-bedroom at Saratoga. I would probably get 2 bedrooms.
Yeah, or Treehouse is like 359
Or
the week I was
Treehouse.
looking. Yeah, that's pretty affordable.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We voting?
So on point charts, what are you guys' thoughts? Where are we at here? Okay. And Ron was saying here, Old Key West 3-bedroom is untouchable for point value. That is a great point and very well said, Ron.
Yep.
Okay. Very well, very, very, very well said. And
I just want to pinch those cheeks of that baby.
I know, every time, right?
that is
So
like
cute.
that is just so cute. So,
So cute.
yep. So, okay, where are you guys at on point charts?
Okay, ready?
Let's take a vote.
1, 2, 3. Vote. It's Old Key West by a landslide.
It's
Landslide.
unanimous.
Uh-oh. 2 in a row.
Unanimous.
Can we come up with something next? Can we come up with something next, please?
Okay, here. So now we've got to go over to dining options, right? So,
Wait a minute. Hang on.
there needs to be a little bit of discussion here, okay? So
Yeah.
over at Old Key West, you've got Olivia's, okay?
Which is great.
Which is okay, right? I have a little bit of a bone to pick with Olivia's, just over the fact that, you know, their managers there have been pretty particular about discounts and following the rules a little bit much about them when they shouldn't have. So I'm still a little on edge about Old Key West, and I still kind of boycott the place, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. So I guess I tip my hat on my hope there. So you got that. You've got the gurgling suitcase. Okay.
Which is
And
like
you've
a
got-
closet.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a
really.
closet. Okay. And then you've got goods to go, which is the quick service counter. Okay. And it's all right there at the pool. And then you've got a little bit of food options back there at the Turtle Shack Pond.
Yep.
Okay.
Snack Shack. Yep.
Okay. And now we move over to Saratoga. And Marianne, tell us what our options are.
So you have for table service, you have the Turf Club with the really awesome rosemary fries and the really great prime rib. So it's really hard to choose what you want there. They have the Turf Club has a bar right outside, and it also has outside seating and inside seating and pool tables. Then you go to the Artist Palette, which is the quick serve that's in the main building. And then you go to your pools, the High Rocks pool bar and has a snack bar option. The Paddock Grill has actually really good food, and it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the Paddock Grill for a pool bar at the pool which that's pretty impressive. And then you have a small snack stop at the Grandstand. I don't know is there anything over at over at Congress Park? I don't know. We've never been over to that pool. And then there's the cheap beer. So if you're walking back down towards the golf course, there is Chippendale's Snack Shop. The beer there is $2 less than it is at the pool bar.
Awesome.
So you get a hot dog and a beer, and you jump on the boat to Disney Springs, which then you jump on the boat to Disney Springs, and hello, dining. Every place that you would want to go is at Disney Springs, right at your back door. So, I mean, there's no question about dining. I mean, in my opinion, it should be.
Yeah, Turf Club is one of my all-time favorites for a great steak at a reasonable price. It's still one table service credit if you're on the dining plan. They take tables in Wonderland. They take tables in Wonderland at Artist Palette too.
Yes.
Okay.
And Artist Palette for a quick serve has a ton of options.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Ton of really good options for the picky kids. They've got options, and then they've got options for the kids that those of us who don't really want theme park food, that don't really want that typical quick service fare. Their flatbread pizzas are fantastic. So
it seems like, Nick, I could be wrong here, and it could just be my bias, but it seems like even the coolers and the cooler food at Artist Palette is much greater than diversity selection than
there's
what
no
you've got
selection
over.
There's no selection at Goods to Go. I mean, and I will be honest, that is the only place out of all the restaurants between the two resorts, that's the only place we've eaten at. And we ate there, I think, 3 times when we stayed there in December. And there was one time we had to wait like 35 minutes. Because it was just, the pool was packed. It was a great day, and they were out of fries. So they gave me a gluten-free brownie, so I was happy. But
35 minutes is.
Yeah. I mean, we were at the pool, so it wasn't a big deal. I was going to get to food for everybody, so it wasn't a huge deal. But yeah, and there was a minimum. I mean, I had the same salad 3 days in a row because it was the only thing I could eat. So.
Got it. Well, let's pick up some. Oh, you had something to add, Jonathan?
Yeah, I was just going to say, we can't forget about the Saratoga chips.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I do like my Saratoga chips.
They're so good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. They're my favorite.
And they've got a great story that goes with them as well. So go ahead and tune into our podcast on Saratoga Springs.
Yep.
And it seems like we were in the 60s about then when that thing aired. So we'll give you the history of the Saratoga chips as well.
Yep.
So let's come back in and get some crowd comments here. Lauren says, okay, we all know where Chad stands. Yep. And so Christine makes a really great comment here. She says, Olivia's was good. Not one of our favorites, though. The quick service is too small at Old Key West, too.
Agree.
Right?
Agree.
And Mary saying, I like the SSR quick service. And then I think Aaron just nails it here. Olivia is better than Turf Club. Not that part. Okay. Artist Palette is better than Goods to Go. But what really puts SSR over the top is the walk over to Disney Springs. Are we counting Disney Springs?
And I think you have to. They're both.
I think you have to.
Yeah, they're both accessible by boat, but you can walk there from both. But to walk there from Old Key West, you have to walk through Saratoga. So yeah.
And you could boat there from both as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
so you have to give Saratoga some, but if you're in the backside of Old Key West and you got to take a bus up to the front and then a boat over to Saratoga
Yeah.
Springs,
I agree.
Yeah.
you better allow an hour and a half. Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas
Okay.
you could walk there within 30 minutes from the backside of Saratoga.
I agree.
Okay. Just walking, right? And then Lauren says, cheap beer, count me in.
When I discovered that was one of the most wonderful things that I ever discovered. So watch now that I've talked about it now, I think on 2 different podcasts.
You're done.
Disney will change it.
They're
but-
done. You're done.
You should see if they'll take tables in Wonderland too, because then you get cheap beer and 20% off.
Wouldn't that
So-
be
A
awesome?
whole 40 cents. Well,
That's awesome.
Hey, as much beer as they drink, it adds up.
it does.
But Ron is saying here, SSR proximity to Disney Springs makes it the perfect option for the best dining options, especially when taking a less theme park orientated trip. Not to mention Turf Club as an on-site option. That's not too bad.
And I think
Love Olivia's, though.
what proves that point is all the people that are traveling between June 22nd and July 10th are booking Saratoga Springs. Like people that are going just for what the reason they're booking Saratoga Springs because hey, I can walk I can walk to Disney Springs.
Yeah, and if you're gonna not be guaranteed theme park stuff,
Yeah.
you might as well go over there or at least go to Animal Kingdom where you can watch the critters. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, and then Christine says, right, SSR dining for sure. And Scott was saying, yeah, there's no dining places at the
True.
Congress Park pool.
Yep. I stayed there in
And-
March. We had the same comment about Congress Park.
Yeah. And then Amy says, we enjoyed Old Key West for the first time last May. Olivia's restaurant was good, but we feel the resort needs a better quick service along with a larger menu.
And I think that comes
Yep.
with it being the first DVC resort. I don't think they
Yeah.
realized how valuable a quick service was.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of the original thought was that people would cook more in their rooms.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even with a big 2-bedroom, we didn't cook anything in our
We cook
room.
breakfast. We cook breakfast. That's
Yeah.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Old Key
Tyler's
West.
saying that food is Old Key West's biggest weakness. Okay.
I don't know. There may be another.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. And then Melissa says you can bike there too. SSR rocks over to Saratoga Springs. Okay. Over to Disney Springs. You can bike there. So, okay, guys, let's take a vote here. So, and Gina, you can add yourself back if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm back in
So-
the closet. Sorry about that.
Gina went back to the closet.
Stay in the closet. Okay.
Gina's internet goes out and she's got to go into the closet.
Every
So,
day, 6:30. Every day, 6:30 without fail. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And Saratoga landslide, unanimous.
so yep, better
I think
options
that's a
over at
surprise.
Saratoga, right?
Yep.
And coming back into this, then let's start to look at what's next. And it looks like we've got resort, recreation, and amenities. Okay.
Seriously,
So-
dudes.
Does anybody want to lead this one off or kick this one off?
Go ahead, Old Key West. You give it a try. Go ahead.
So we did, we stayed in October. I've used the gym. I've stayed there twice. I used the gym. The gym is good. It does not compare to Saratoga's.
Nope.
Saratoga's is the best on property, even better than Grand
Yep.
Floridian. So there you go. Saratoga has a spa. So
True.
Mhm.
there.
Yep.
It's got the biggest spa on property as well.
And I've heard it's the best, like not the biggest, but it's also better than the one at Grand Floridian. So the services are better. But we loved the pool, at Old Key West. Old Key West does have a sauna. I don't know why in Florida outside, but it does have a sauna that if you decide to go from the hot and humidity in the sunshine into a hot and humid box, you have that option. So there you go. They both have community hall. We love the community hall at Old Key West. So I think all the community halls are pretty similar. I haven't had a different experience at one. So but as an old Key West diehard, but an SSR owner, it has a spa and a better gym. So
Yeah, spa
I know
gym.
I know that there is a golf course that goes through Old Key West, but is there a clubhouse for the
Nope,
golf
it's
course?
the same golf course. You play through to Old Key West.
we saw otters.
Oh.
We saw otters from our patio. So we saw otters which was cool because we've seen different wildlife, but we'd never seen otters in the lake before. That was pretty fun.
Yep. Now I know Old Key West has multiple shuffleboard courts. I've never seen them at Saratoga. I could be wrong, but I could just not have found them. Do you know of any?
Nope, but I've not been back in Congress Park at all. So
Got it.
No,
Maybe we'll get a
maybe
crowd
not.
location on that one as well then. So, okay. And so other than
Does
that,
Saratoga have the bike rentals?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. There
Yep.
you go.
yes. And I know at Old Key West, your bike rentals, they will police you down if you start to ride over to Disney Springs. Okay.
Oh.
You're not allowed to go that far with them. So I don't know where the leash is or electronic fence or tether or whatever they've got going on over at Saratoga.
Well, and I
But-
know that the horse and around rentals are like 30 minutes or an hour. That would be pretty short amount of time if you were going to actually do anything in Disney Springs to ride over and ride back. And my guess is Disney Springs security doesn't really want you on a bicycle on there in that part of the
I would
property.
agree.
At all.
So while you can probably do it, I'm not sure it would be.
So Aaron
good
clarified the golf course. He said front 9 goes through Old Key West, back 9 goes through SSR.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Got it. So they share the golf course, so to speak, but SSR gets the clubhouse and the cheap beer.
And the cheap beer.
Okay.
Come on, people.
True.
So I can honestly say I've had great resort amenities and activities at both resorts. I think they both have a community
And-
hall.
And
Yep.
SSR does have 2 pools with slides, right?
And have you been to the
But we haven't got the
paddock?
pools yet.
Oh,
That's
the
its own-
pools have their own
Sorry,
thing?
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry.
All right.
Yep.
All right. I noticed that Mary mentioned the community hall, and that's Katie's favorite place. The community hall at SSR is Katie's very favorite place to be. And she would spend hours in there painting pottery and chatting with the fun people
Yeah.
that she calls them. So, and the pool games at SSR with, by the recreation staff are fantastic. Chad tells a story about ice cream and all that, game there. And so, they all have movies at night. They all have, s'mores,
S'mores,
that
yep.
kind of stuff.
I'll put it to you this way. I've had good over at Old Key West, and we've been there more, but I've seen phenomenal over at Saratoga. It could just be my limited sampling size, but that's just kind of my deal. So let's see if anybody else has any more comments here on resort recreation. And I'm not seeing one. I think they probably both have cornhole that you can check out from
the community hall.
Yep, in the rental place and that as
From horsing
well.
around.
Yep. And so I think that's it. I think we've covered the comments here on resort recreation. So it's time for a vote on this. And what do you guys think?
1, 2, 3. Saratoga Springs wins. 1 Old Key West vote.
One Old Key West vote.
I'm sticking with my old Key West. I just like it.
That's your story and you're sticking with it, huh?
Yes,
So-
and Scott asked if Old Key West has a basically an arcade, and yes,
Yes,
And
they
there's like
do.
6 games
They have
in
2
it.
of
It's
them.
really
Yeah.
small. And then
True.
there's, the one in the very back by Turtle Pond was shut down last time I was there.
Oh, it was.
So-
Ooh.
Does Old Key West, though, have in its community hall a free video game room that has the Xboxes and the Nintendo
Yeah.
Wii's?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Just so
think
we
so.
cover that for you,
Yep.
Scott.
Which
That
is
was
We
what
haven't-
your
we
question
haven't
was.
gotten
That's
that.
key for teenagers.
We're still with crayons, so we haven't
Yeah,
gotten
and
to that, but
Christine
Yeah.
brings up a really good question here. What about grills?
Saratoga
Okay.
has them.
Yeah, Old Key West
they
has them too.
both have them. Yeah.
Yep, they do.
And they're both charcoal ones there, right? Is it charcoal? You have
Yeah.
to buy your own charcoal and do that?
Well, yeah, because the mouse is going to make its money somehow.
Another way.
What about
If
the
you're-
pontoon
Well, if you get over to Wilderness Lodge and I think Poly, they have gas ones there.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
can you?
They're like a really high end one.
I didn't know that. Can you rent pontoon boats over at
No,
Saratoga? I know you can at Oak Key West.
You used to
No.
know that you can't rent them at either anymore. They take that.
Yeah.
They took that away. Yeah, it used to be.
I remember that. We did that one year.
Yeah,
I
now
would
you
think at Saratoga that would be a no because there's a lot of traffic
Okay.
They used
where the
to.
boat ramp is.
They used to at their Coronado Caribbean. Now I think it's only Bay Lake.
Bay Lake. Okay.
Got it. Okay. So moving on to our next one, just general location. Okay. And these resorts are really similar. They're almost borderline near each other. Okay. The golf course does kind of connect them through. And
And so does
Saratoga's-
the river. The river does too.
Yep. Well, the river takes a fork. Okay. And because you can take a boat from both of them to Disney Springs. So you could really take a boat between the two if you wanted to switch boats at Disney Springs. Okay.
Yeah.
And I believe they don't share the same dock, but I'd have to double check that. Okay. I know there's 3 different docks there and the resorts all go to a different place. So not 100% sure on exactly how
I
the
think-
boat docks work.
I think SSR and Oak Key West go to the same spot in Disney Springs, but they don't share the same boat. Like Old Key West doesn't then stop at Saratoga,
Got
and
it.
then
Okay.
yeah, they share the same dock, so those boats alternate, but they don't make a stop at Saratoga. Oak Key West goes straight to Disney Springs and back.
Got it. Okay.
So-
Okay. So in terms of location, you've got walkable distance to Disney Springs. You've got the golf course there, but they're both kind of way far out there in the same corner of property. Okay.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just, 50 one, half a dozen the other. I don't know how I'm going to call this one. Okay. But that's about what I can say on locations. Anybody else have any comments on location on screen or off screen? Some of the audience?
There's no one.
Cricket.
Nothing.
We need a cricket
Okay.
sound, Gina.
This will be a quick vote. This will be a quick vote.
Let's
Yep.
see. Nope.
Here's one.
There we go.
Ah, I
Yeah,
knew I
we
had
got
a
one.
cricket.
We got one here. Location isn't good for either. Here's another one.
Yep. Ron
That's
saying
the one.
again,
Yeah.
SSR due to Disney Springs being walking distance.
agree.
I think that's the tiebreaker.
that has to be it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and call for a vote on location here.
All right. 1, 2,
And-
3.
Yep.
Let's go. All right. Ooh, it's almost a tie, but it's Saratoga.
Yeah, it's Saratoga.
Right.
Saratoga.
I voted for Old Key West. I think Old Key West is a little closer to the highway, so it's closer to the park. That's what I'm sticking with.
Got it.
Point.
And it's
Got it.
we bring our car, and with Old Key West, literally our car was 5 steps from our room.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so that pretty much summarizes up locations. Now let's come over to transportation options. And you both have way too many bus stops at both of them.
Yeah.
These are
That's
both
just that.
massive spread out resorts. Okay, so you've got buses at both of them. You've got boats to Disney Springs at both of them. You've got walking to Saratoga or to Disney Springs from one of them. Other than that, to me, it's a toss up. The only thing that I'm going to take some major negative points away from is transportation at those tree houses at Saratoga.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to say that.
Yep.
It sucks.
Yep. And not only are the tree houses transportation challenged, but they're also parking challenged.
Yep.
Because you get one
Yeah.
parking spot per treehouse there.
Oh wow!
And they sleep 9 people. So if you're going to put 9 people there, how many vehicles fit 9 people in one vehicle?
Exactly.
You have to rent those super
15
express,
passenger vans.
full-size 15 passenger
Cargo
vans,
van.
Yeah,
right? And pay like 3 times as much for it to
Yep.
fit everybody in it. So
Wow.
Yeah, that's the ding on the tree houses and that. But if you're just gonna settle in with 5 or 6 people, or even 7 people at those, you get a 7-person minivan, then it's pretty okay, right? But
Yep.
so
You should look at the comments.
okay. Mary, we're about ready. I gave you a fair warning as well in the pre-show. So, like, I'm not even going to throw that one up there, right? So, I need to go to jail, right? I need, like, the live police to come back in, okay? And so Aaron is saying SSR close to Disney Springs, OQS is close to Port Orleans, Yeehaw Bob and the Mickey Beignets, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, like, here's the deal. It's close to drive there, but if you want to take Disney transportation,
Yeah, it's
An hour.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you
One
have
boat
to either
to
take
another
a
boat.
bus,
Mm-hmm.
okay? You either have to take a boat and then walk docks and then a boat all the way back past where you were,
Ugh.
or to Disney Springs and then transfer, or to a park and transfer. So yeah, it's
They
not
frown
good.
on jumping out of the boat and swimming to the dock there at Saratoga as you drive past. So, just saying.
Just the Gators.
Yeah. Yep. So, anything else on transportation here that we're missing? Because
Scott,
to me, it's
Scott has a point about the 15 passenger van. You know, you'd be okay
So-
at the tree houses in that 15 passenger.
I think Mary makes a point that you need a car for either, and I would agree with that. And I
Yeah.
think the parking, again, I have not stayed at Saratoga, but the parking at Old Key West was just amazing because literally it was
Yep.
outside our door.
It is that way at Saratoga.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was just really, I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, it's
no,
right
the
there
only
at your
thing
door.
I could
at
think
Saratoga.
of at Saratoga with the parking options are there's like you can enter that building from the center or from the very back corners around the sides.
True.
Okay. So it seemed like it's still a longer walk to get there between from where you park to
Right.
your room. Whereas Old Key West, it's all completely open. There's multiple ways up to the top floors. They're bridged and connected up there. It just seemed like it was easier to get in and out of the room at Old Key West.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
I think with Saratoga, it just depends on which building you're at and where your room is.
and then no elevators at Old Key West though.
We
right?
talked about that already.
Yeah.
Yep. But that's
Very
still a
few.
transportation
It is.
option.
Yeah.
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 It still fits back into the transportation deal.
True.
Well, we
So we're
like
ready for
ground floors anyway, so it doesn't really affect us.
And see, we're third floor people.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we ready for a vote here?
Yeah.
Nope.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, vote. Wow, close. Saratoga wins by 1.
Wait,
No,
Chad can't commit.
Chad split. Chad split. Chad,
Tie.
you're the tiebreaker. You gotta make a choice. You have to make a choice.
Then
You're
I'm going for the
tiebreaker.
better parking over at Old Key West because I think it is slightly
Yay,
better.
We won.
So that's what I'm saying there, and I'm going to hold the tree houses against them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Transportation
True.
to Old Key West.
So that's the transportation, and now this
The last
awesome
one.
deal. The
Mm,
last
Oh,
round,
ah,
Seriously.
this one's a
Pools.
no-brainer.
the
No
ones
brainer.
that matters most. Okay.
No brainer.
So over at Saratoga, you've got 2 feature pools with slides. Okay. Both of them are 0 entry. You've got a 3rd pool with a children's splash area that also has the little restaurant bar thing. Okay. Over at the paddock pool, that is my absolute favorite pool and bus stop combined because you've got a bus stop with bathrooms and drinks and a restaurant and a pool and showers and everything that you could possibly ever need right there at Paddock.
And the laundry for the paddock, the free laundry is at the pool for the paddock. So your kids are swimming and you're doing laundry at the same time. And you don't have to be away from your family, stuck in a little laundry room somewhere doing
You're
the
one
laundry.
of those that does laundry.
I do
I don't know.
laundry.
I think Grandstand gives it a run for its money.
I do like Grandstand's pool. We like that pool a lot.
Yeah, it's a great pool. It's easy to walk from the grandstand up to the carriage house, and you can get to the feature pool there. It's and there's laundry too.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yeah. And then you have a quiet pool at Congress Park for the grown-ups who don't really want to be around the little kids. And if you really want to be by yourself in a pool, just go ahead and hike back to the tree houses because you got a pool there. You have 5 pools at Saratoga. And the toddler area at Saratoga's paddock pool is probably one of the best ones on property, because it's got a gated off from the main pool entrance, so you don't have to worry as much about your little person escaping and flying into the big pool. And then it's got a cute little slide and cute little sprayers, and it's really fun. So it's got good options there at Paddock.
We enjoyed the old Key West pool when we were there in December, but I would say, it doesn't compare to Saratoga.
Yeah, I actually like the feature. If just a standalone feature pool, I have to give it to Old Key West. Okay, if it was
with the
just
sandcastle,
the sandcastle slide is pretty
That's
epic.
cool. Yeah, I like that.
The paddock slide is.
It reminds me a lot of Vero. Vero has the same. Lighthouse.
Yeah. The paddock slide is just the bomb diggity. It is one of the fastest slides on property. They had to detune it after they rebuilt it because to slow it down because people were getting hurt. Okay.
Wow.
And so, that slide is a ton of fun. You got 0 entry there. And I mean, the side pools at Old Key West are pretty decent. They're bigger from what it seems like, but they're not, there's no slide there. Okay. It's missing some water features, right? Yeah. So that's kind
of
my...
And there's no splash pad at Old Key West either. I mean, my son doesn't like splash pads, so it doesn't really affect us, but that there isn't. So
good point.
Good point.
There's a sandy. Is there a sandy area over at Saratoga like there is over at Old Key West where you could kind of?
No, there is not.
Beachy kind of. Okay, so little kids might like that over at Old Key West.
That is a huge win because I hate when my kids were little. I hated this.
Yeah.
Because
true.
It made me do more laundry. So there you go. Actually, not me. Tom made Tom to do more laundry because he draws that card a lot. So
are we ready to vote?
Yeah. So let's just see. So Scott was saying that Congress Park laundry is at the pool as well.
Oh, that's helpful.
Danielle was saying we love the toddler era at SSR. And Danielle, SSR pools for sure. And I think that's it. I think we're ready to vote here.
Okay.
So
I think this one's a landslide.
1, 2, 3, vote. And it's Saratoga.
Yep.
And are you ready for the big winner of the night?
Yeah.
The big winner with 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 3 set categories. Saratoga Springs. Saratoga Springs.
And I think that's the point. I think that's what surprises a lot of people because I think it's what is important to you. So what's important to us is parking and the room size. So pools aren't really important to us. Dining really isn't important to us. So that's why we prefer Old Key West. But if those things are important to you, I think that's what, and a lot of people, and I haven't stayed at Saratoga, but it's not because we don't want to stay there. It's just, we know there's going to be a point where there's no other option. Right. So because that's our home resort. So I think that a lot of people overlook it because it's always available and it's always there. But again, I think I said this when the room renovations first started, it's not going to be the last resort because it's not going to be the resort of last resort because once they're done, I think a lot of people are going to really want to stay there.
True. I think one thing for me about Old Key West, so 5 people can stay in. When you have 3 kids, unfortunately, you are more limited, and 5 people can stay in an Old Key West in 1 bedroom.
Right.
And you can't do that at Saratoga. And with 3 teenagers that I have,
you can with the renovation.
In the new refurb rooms,
you can.
But you're losing those 300 square feet on that 1 bedroom.
You are.
With teenagers, my 2 boys are each 6 feet, and my husband's 6'1". I feel like you get more like when you have bigger,
We love the fold out. We love the fold out twin for our son. The fold out twin. He was 4 at the time. It was awesome.
Yeah. I'm totally
I
with you,
think-
Roxanne, on that, with having a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old and a 13-year-old. I totally get that.
Yeah.
So you do 2
Um,
bedrooms, or
But
what do
we
you guys?
always do 2 bedrooms.
Okay, so we don't. Yeah.
Because we have our oldest are a boy and a girl, and so that
Okay.
they don't have to share a room.
Yeah.
We do 2 bedrooms. So
Got
Got
it.
it.
Gotcha.
Wow.
So we've talked about where we would like to stay, but let's do one more bonus round for which would you own if you had to pick between the two of them. So, because I think staying and owning are 2 different conversations. Okay.
Yep.
So we should just come back in and say, if you had it to do all over again today, which would you own?
Now, ready?
Yeah.
Vote.
You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Vote.
wait, real quick. What are the dues differences?
Yeah, I don't know.
And are
I'll
you
pull it up.
talking about owning? Are you talking about owning original dates or extended dates? Because I think that makes a difference. In
I would own
conversation.
I would own extended. Mine would be extended. I wouldn't.
Yeah, you got to do extended.
Because I was going to say it's not Apple. I mean, it's
You're not comparing apples to apples in this one.
in this particular one because you're not getting amenities that are like at Beach Club, where you're getting an amenity with Stormalong Bay that is so much more than
True.
the average pool.
So when I purchased at $72 for Saratoga. I didn't really understand the whole extended, not extended. So I don't think an Old Key West extended was that much more. I think it was selling around 80 at the time. If I had to do it over again, I would have gotten an Old Key West extended than the Saratoga. Because I will say, trying to we travel the first 2 weeks of December. That's my son's birthday. And we always have to, last year we had to wait list 3 nights. So we've always had it's never a full availability. Now, can you wait list and get them pretty quickly? Yes. But it's not full availability. It's not out for a 1 bedroom at 11 months. I mean, I'm sorry, at 7 months, it's not fully available if you want a full week. It's not, for those 2 weeks, for the first 2 weeks of December.
So to answer your question here, Mary Ann, for what's the dues differences, at Saratoga, we are looking at $677 a point.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like a 3.6% lifetime average increase.
Right.
And over at Old Key West, you're talking about $784. So a 4.1% increase. So
Roughly about
$677. Okay.
90 cents, not
Yeah.
87 cents.
Which doesn't sound like a lot when you're talking about it, but when you start adding up points,
Yep.
that's a lot of money real fast.
Yeah. If you have 300 points.
$300 a year.
Yeah.
For 300 points, $300 a year. So, and then if you had to choose, but getting an Old Key West extended contract, pretty dang hard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I
let's
just
go
got
ahead
one with DVC Real Estate Market with Umberto, and I was really excited because they had 218 points banked into 2020 from 2019,
Oh, that's fabulous.
and it was extended. So I was like, ooh,
That's a fabulous
Yeah.
find.
that was a good find.
So to vote on this, if I had to go non-extended, I'm always taking the one with the later end date. So it would be Saratoga for non-extended or Old Key West for extended. Okay.
And I'm probably, no matter what, gonna still do Saratoga, because for me, that extra $300,
Yeah.
it's significant enough that I would.
And I'm with Chad. If it's non-extended SSR and extended Old Key West. So
Jonathan?
Yeah, for me, Old Key West was our first home resort. It's the one we fell in love with. It's always going to have my vote.
oh, you held up the wrong one.
How about Saratoga?
I said SSR.
Oh, you said SSR. Okay.
Oh,
I thought I did.
Okay.
I
Nope,
said Old Key
okay.
West.
Going with Old Key West there. So, okay then. So I think that pretty well wraps up this little resort versus. Gina, what's on the calendar for next time when we do this?
The next calendar, I think it's Bay Lake Tower versus Polly.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So That'll be a great shootout. If you guys want to join us, I think we did fairly well with 6 people here, which is the max we can have on screen. If you'd like to join us, reach out to myself or Gina, and we'll see what we can do to get you guys in. So we love bringing new people onto this show.
Absolutely.
So, that being said and done, it looks like, well, we need to do a shout out as well here. So Shannon, go ahead and tell us about your ears this week.
Yes. So these are my ears. I guess when you zoom in, I get blurry. So this is from this DF Love. I've talked about her before. She's my favorite ear designer, but also she is currently making masks, and they're 2-sided, so you can wear them. And then there's also a place for a filter, and they have a nose like wire, which really helps if you wear glasses. I wear sunglasses, and they really helps with if they're getting foggy. So if you come outside, they don't get foggy because it wraps around your nose. And then I got matching for my son, so we can match. So, and we'll be patriotic. So she's making masks. Follow her on Instagram. She'll talk about when she has sales, but I highly recommend it's, I've had masks. I think I've ordered just way too many masks for someone who doesn't like wearing masks and thinks it's stupid, but I've ordered way too many, and these are the best. So there we go.
Awesome. And Marianne, where's your ears from?
Shop Disney.
Sometimes you just got to go with the easy ones.
I can make my own, so I don't usually shop outside of, that kind of thing. But we like the bubblegum wall. We'll be sad if when they refurb Spaceship Earth, if the bubblegum wall goes away. So
it's going to be a while.
It is going to be a while. We heard that, so that was good news.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And now, Shannon, you were going to lead us on this news week because we had some pretty good DVC news this week.
I was deflated last night. So we have a staycation planned for the end of July that we had planned for 10 months. I rented points from a broker, and a friend of mine had some extra points that were expiring that I rented from her. So I had 2 nights rented, and then I was able to waitlist a 3rd night to get 3 nights at Beach Club so that we could use the pool for our staycation in July for my birthday that we do every year. We went to Vero one year. Last year we went to Animal Kingdom. And then yesterday they said the things to know before you go, and the Stormalong Bay is going to be closed. Now, we don't know if it'll be closed. We check in July 26th, but the only pool that's going to be open at Beach Club will be the quiet pool. And if you have a 4-year-old who loves slides, a quiet pool, well, first of all, they're not quiet. 4-year-olds aren't quiet. And it's a small, the quiet pool at Beach Club is small. And so they did change it today where we can access I think it's Luna Park is what it's called, the creepy clown pool at Boardwalk, which is not, I would not say it's a comparable, trade-off, but I think I'm content with that. I think give me nothing, I'll take anything. So the fact that we have an option now where if we decide to walk Crescent Lake and go to Boardwalk and go to the creepy clown pool and have a slide, then we have that option. So, but that's a big change. And then Jumbo House, I had posted on our group earlier this week that I saw, because I was looking at June 22nd, and I saw that I could book a tower studio. I could book anything in DVC across the board except Jumbo. Everything for Jumbo from a value studio, obviously booked, up to a three-bedroom grand villa was booked from June 22nd to December 31st. And now Disney has announced that it will not be reopening on June 22nd with everything else. They haven't said why. The rumors are it could be part of the NBA agreement. Nobody knows. Which would be sad. And I think it's wrong for DVC owners because it's taking away inventory, but I'm sure they've covered their legal basis. So I'm sure they've got that covered. But
if they give us a bunch of undeclared Riviera to make up for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or they move everybody over to Riviera at no extra point
No extra
costs.
points.
Okay.
Right. So that's the big thing, and the one thing that I'm just really, I think that everybody's really upset about is the lack of transparency. Now I understand if that is part of the contract with the NBA and they're trying to, that's not signed yet, it's not agreed upon yet, so they can't talk about it. So I kind of get that, but to think that DVC owners aren't savvy enough to realize, hey, there's no availability for Jumbo for the rest of 2020 and not realize that, I think they kind of thought maybe we were all dumb and wouldn't notice. And I think,
I think that's the thing that we've been calling for is is just be transparency, lead us. Okay. Tell us what's going on. That's been the number one call to action that we've had here. Okay. And that's been the number one thing that's been missing, so to speak. Okay. Yeah. So I wish we had that. I think the other big news here this week was just because you have a resort reservation does not mean you're getting into the theme parks.
Right.
That's to me, that's shocking. To me, that's shocking.
Me too.
That they should be taking care of the on-property people before they even think of going off-property.
Yeah.
I truly believe that is a CYA legal statement.
Yeah.
So that I cannot imagine, you may not get the park of your choice. I mean, I'll be real honest. I don't think you're going to get the park of your choice every day, but I think that resort guests will be able to go to a park every day of their trip. I cannot imagine that is actually going to be true.
I agree with you on that.
I mean, they just.
I also think they're probably covering themselves for people that like wake up at 11 and think they're just going to walk into whatever park they want.
And that is what it is. It's all about the covering their backsides for the Karens of the world who don't understand. And let's be real, the first people that are going to be there are all going to be DVC people. I mean, they're going to be savvy Disney people. They're going to be people who are going to understand. They're saying this so that when they start to open up the rest of the deluxe resorts and they have the people that have spent the $10,000 on the once in a lifetime trip who decide, even though it's a pandemic and there's no fireworks, they're still going, which why would you do that? But so that they have at least warned them that they may not even have park access. And maybe it's their way of controlling crowds. Right. Because if there's one more thing, you know, there's going to be no characters. There's going to be no this. There's going to be no that. And, oh, by the way, you might have to enjoy your resort pool. And let's be honest, if you're at the Contemporary, your resort pool kind of sucks. So
that Bay Lake pool is pretty cool. So it's got a decent slide.
The Bay Lake pool is, but the Contemporary pool isn't. And most people are saying at the Contemporary don't realize there's a pool over there at Bay Lake.
And then Aaron brought up, and which is the next point I was going to bring up, is no, this is a technically a rumor. There's been emails going out from travel agents to UK clients and club level guests that there will be no park hopping. I think this is something we all expected. Yeah. With the reservation system, there's not going to be park hopping. So there's not going to, that's what is coming out from travel agents for UK clients and clients that have club level. Nothing's been decided from Disney. And I think there's a guy, I can't think of his name right now, but there's a guy on Twitter that's really, he pretty much is spoiling it. He's got all the spoilers. And he said Disney doesn't really know at this point how they're figuring it out. And once they know, they'll tell you. But right now, because if you have I have a park hopper, if somebody has a park hopper, are they going to give you the difference?
What about annual pass holders?
Annual pass
holders too. Yep.
So, and I honestly think with annual pass holders, I don't think they're going to give any money back for park hopping. I think maybe with park hoppers, if you added that extra option, yes, I think that there's a number there, but there's no number for an annual pass. And we had annual passes. We never really park hop. We sometimes would go to a different place for dinner, but even we rarely park hopped because we kind of just stuck to the same resort for each day. So it doesn't really affect us. It does affect us for our July trip because we have one ticket and we were going to go to Universal. We were going to go to Hollywood Studios and then to Magic Kingdom. So now we've just limited it to Hollywood Studios for one day.
Yeah, and Scott points out here that resort reservation and existing park tickets, get priority to booking that. And the other thing is, we've seen the rumor that we heard last week about during this June 22nd that DVC members could get a soft opening into the parks. I've seen that confirmed from more sources as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so that looks like that's probably going to happen there as well.
Yeah.
So
You have to let us know, Shannon. You'll be there. You have to let us know.
I don't
Yeah,
think it'll
let
be
us
that.
know.
I'm there June 22nd. I'm there when the resort's opening just for 2 nights. So I think if it happens, it'll happen that first week of July.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen while I'm there.
well, time will tell and we'll find out.
I mean,
So-
I'm game, but I'm not planning on it.
We don't mind park hopping with our family, but if we lose park hopping, that won't be the end of the world for us. But we really do like going back to our resort for afternoon nap. And now, granted, with shortened hours, we probably wouldn't do that as much. But man, when my kids were little, that lunchtime break was a really good
Definitely.
thing. And we don't even know yet if they're going to allow that.
I think that's the reason for no park hopping, because I think they'll have a capacity of people that have reservations can come and go. So I think that's the reason why no park hopping, because if they do allow park hopping, if you leave, basically you can't come back.
Right.
But if they don't, then you can buy. I think that they will allow it, but I'm with you. Hollywood Studios, that's the park we're planning on going to in July, because we want to go to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Right.
And it doesn't open till 10.
Yeah.
And it's open. So we will probably just go through. And my son's at an age where he usually will take a nap, but he can go without it. I mean,
you can power through.
Yeah. He's going to be cranky around 5 o'clock.
Well,
but he can do it.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up with this comment here tonight. Heather says, I'm okay with no park hopping, but I wish Disney would give us some info on the park reservation system.
I think they're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And the other thing we talked about, I did post in the group, PhotoPass photographers or handlers will no longer be taking pictures. So that's something that is part of the COVID because of so I posted,
that makes sense to me though. I have no issues with that.
I said, I think this is going to be controversial. I think it's great. I hope they stick with it. And I would say 95% of the people agreed with me. I think a couple of people were disappointed, but I think so many people stand in line to get the PhotoPass photographer to have that person take their own photo with their camera. And I've seen people do complete
Well, let's
photo
be
shoots.
honest. I mean, our cell phones are the nastiest piece of gear we own.
I agree.
A lot of germs.
Like a lot of germs on there and everything else. And then here you hand it to this photographer who hands it back to the next person who hands it
So I hope they stick with this policy, if not for the germ factor, just for the time factor, because people pay for the memory maker, people pay for the gold pass to get that memory maker, and let those people take those pictures rather than the people that stand in line and take the time of the photographers who have no intention of buying those photos. So.
Yeah. Good point. So, I think that wraps up our show for today. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you to our sponsors as well. DVC Rental Store, DVC Resale Market, Monera Financial, Incredible Vacation Homes. I can't thank you guys enough for sponsoring season 3 of the show and the platform. And we look forward to season 4 kicking off here pretty soon. So, thank you to everybody as well. And thank you to the My DVC Points Patreons as well. If you'd like to support the platform as well, patreon.com/mydvcpoints. We'd be glad to have your support there as well. Thanks everybody for tuning in and have a great night.
Bye everyone.
Bye. Have a good night.
Good night.